Water is one of the main resources on Earth, and a person cannot live without it. If we take the world's resource of clean fresh water, then all reserves account for no more than 1%, and all fresh water on the planet is 3%. More than 3.5 million people die every year in the world from polluted water, which is poisoned or not clean from chemicals, physical or organic elements, well as various kinds of impurities. For example, in some regions of Asia and Africa, it is difficult to find source of clean water. Every year, 400 billion tons of waste are generated in the world, most of which ends up in water. Water pollution is an environmental global problem as water is a source of all living organisms. Causes of water pollution can be wastewater, which contains dangerous chemicals that enter um, water bodies and cause enormous damage to the entire environment. Industrial waste from factories and enterprises, farm enterprises that use chemical fertilizer for cultivation, leaks, accident, and unexpected situations that mainly occur during water transport. Solid household waste that has end up on the surface of the water. Thermal pollution occurs due to the constant release of water for cooling reactors in power plants. Atmospheric pollution, which contains the release of volatile substances, ash, soot, and various gases occurring due to water enterprises. As a result of the oxidation of these substances in the water, a reaction occurs, resulting in acid rain. Everyone needs to fight these causes. No one will teach us to care of nature, only we do not ourselves. For details about water pollution, environmental specialist Azhar Kobey.
Thank you, Ramina. Today, the scale of pollution of rivers and lakes in Kazakhstan is becoming critical. Our country's waterways are worried about their polluted fate. Ecologists of the Ministry of Environmental Protection in the latest issue of the departmental bulletin noted out of 69 rivers of Kazakhstan, only 9 are recognized as clean. We also made observations on 184 hydrochemical wells distributed over 94 water bodies. These are 79 rivers, 12 lakes, 10 reservoirs, 2 channels, and 1 sea. As a result, only 9 rivers, 2 reservoirs, and 2 lakes are classified as clean water. It turns out that about 80 reservoirs in Kazakhstan more or less polluted with various chemical reagents and substances. These rivers are Shaybarno River in Karganda region, in Biliko Lake in the Jambul region. The main reasons for the high level of surface water pollution are the large volumes of dirty wastewater discharged into the country's water basins by mining industry. For example, for many years, the cause of nitrate pollution of the Nura River was the discharge of wastewater by industrial enterprises of GSC, ArcelorMittal Temirtau, and GLC Temirtau Electrometallurgical Combine. According to the available data, we can name 7 rivers that are now extremely polluted in Kazakhstan. These are Ilek, Nura, Ili, Irtysh, Ishim, and Sirdarya. All large industrial enterprises in Kazakhstan located near rivers and lakes easily drain their toxic waste into the water vessels in the country. The scale of surface water pollution in the country has been grown rapidly in recent years. In addition, the decline in water quality affects ecosystems. Unsustainable water use and natural disasters are also common problems. There are forecasts that the flow of rivers will decrease, and by 2030 a water crisis is possible in the country. This man-made disaster will sooner or later overtake a person. The danger lies in wait for him during swimming, hiking, and fishing. This seems to be the price of successful economic development, the growth of urban agglomeration, and the gigantic rise of industrialization. And all of this leads to reckless and unforgivable consequences for the environment. Thank you for your attention.
Let's find out how water pollution affects animals. Zoologist Malika Kurbanova has more.
Thank you. I am very pleased to share with you the news from the animal world. So, water pollution. Water pollution has a very negative impact on animals. Plastic bags, plastic packaging rings for cans or other waste products that get into the water are very dangerous for animals. Fish, seals, birds die by eating garbage in the sea, mistaking polyethylene for plankton or other food. These products damage their digestive organs, and there are places in the seas of the world where there are more plastic products than plankton, and this plastic can remain in the animal's stomach, causing wounds, causing the animal to die slowly and painfully. For example, sea turtles. Sea turtles mistake plastic waste for a food source, sometimes causing blockages in their digestive system. Studies show that 50% of sea turtles consume plastic and die because of it. Seals and sea lions also suffer from water pollution. They become entangled in plastic bags or plastic packaging tapes, which lead to injuries. These plastic packaging tapes can lead to severe infections and death. 98% of albatrosses studied swallowed some plastic garbage. Swallowed plastic can puncture internal organs, and the animal can die. Whales and dolphins also suffer from water pollution. Like other fish, whales mistake garbage for a food source. These wastes often puncture and lead the stomach lining, leading to starvation and death. And if people do not take this problem seriously, if we will not do something, most of the animals in the world will be on the verge of extinction, and most of the animals in the world will die because of water pollution.
With a program for solving the problem of water pollution, scientist Alina Zakharneva.
So first I'd like to briefly tell you about the water resource in the world to explain why we should pay attention to this problem. Our Earth is two-thirds covered with water. Its total volume is 1,386 cubic kilometers, but fresh water is 40 times less, and its reserves are only about 35 million cubic kilometers. Fresh water is a renewable resource. It evaporates, then condenses, then falls to the ground in the form of rain and snow, which seeps to the soil, and then it falls to the rivers, seas, and ocean. So as you can see, water circulation in nature is eternal. There is plenty of water in the world, but mostly salty, and desalination is very expensive. The main problems are not the lack of the water on the earth, but the water pollution. In most cases, the reason for the water pollution is human activity. Everyone can reduce the rate of pollution of the world's oceans and destructions of its ecosystems. So what can we do to solve these problems? First, stop pour toxic substances, solvents, etc. into the sewer. Second, recycle batteries and especially fluorescent lamps. And third, don't leave garbage in nature, at the beaches, etc. So, as you can see, rules are quite simple, but if we start following them, we will take a step towards a clean environment.